There is one last thing I need to do with my side view before I move on to drawing my top view, and that is to go ahead and label it as the side view. And to do that, we'll just go back into we'll go into our place text command, except this time we're going to place the text. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust the height and the width here. Usually when you're placing titles and stuff, you want it to be, roughly twice as big or so than your other text and notes dimensions. So I'm going to change that to 1. Updated the width to 1, and typically your line spacing is half of what your height is, so that's going to change to 0.5. And now I have my text editor box pop up here where I can data click in there and I can type whatever I want. I'm going to type side view. And by typing that in there, the method I have for placing text is by origin, so I could drag this anywhere and place it. If I wanted to do something different with the orientation, I could say I wanted it above the element, which would mean if I did a tentative on this part of the line, it would show it spaced above there. But for this instance, I want the by origin. And we'll just go ahead and place it right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit more. Not too far. And just like you can copy lines and elements, you can also copy text features, which I'm going to do here because I'm going to throw my label for the title for my top view. So I'm going to go to copy. I'm going to select my side view text here. And I'm going to just drag him down to about there. Except I'm not labeling two side views. This is going to be my top view, so I'm going to go into my text tools and select edit text again. And I'll select my side view. Text there highlighted, place my cursor, and right in the top. And then to accept it, you just do a data point on the screen. So I'll select this. So now I have my top view. Alright, now in order to draw my top view or my bird's eye view, I'm going to still get back into my copy feature. I'm going to copy my 15-inch line because 15 inches on the side here is still 15 inches long on the bottom. So this will be like, say, the left side of my roadway. And for the width of my roadway, it's going to be 4 inches wide. So in order to give that dimension for my design, or to show that, I'm going to do a copy move parallel of 4, which was already set from before. So I'm going to select that element and go up, keep original. So this is my 4-inch width. Now the next thing I need to do is to show translations of the end lines and my 8-inch dimension here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my place line command. And I don't care about the lengths or the angles here. These are just to translate straight up and down. And if I make sure I have the proper snaps on, key point or intersection snap, which I have selected, is fine. So I'm going to snap at the end of here, place a line straight up and down with my AccuDraw. Still have my place line command selected from the bottom left, so I'm going to place one there. And I can go ahead and do one here, do a tentative snap to select that intersection. And then tentative to select the intersection there. Place line. Like that. Alright, so I have those 8 inches shown, 15 inches shown here. Now I need to clean up some of this this business here. I can go ahead and do some trims before by using the simple trim command like we used before, and I could trim the cutting element and then trim the portion off there. There's actually a way where you can do it a little bit faster and easier, multiple elements, with our IntelliTrim, which is the tic-tac-toe board with the light bulb on it. To show how that's different, I'm going to go ahead and change a couple things here. I'm going to shorten this line up. This is a extend line. I could extend this further or shorten it down a certain distance. Just for demonstration, I'm going to shorten that there, and that was this button here, extend line. To show you what the IntelliTrim is, if I select that function, this gives me the option of either trimming or extending, and I have a couple lines that are short here, so I'm going to do an extend. And by having extend selected, the IntelliTrim at the bottom tells me identify element to extend to. I want to extend down to here. So it kind of highlights that line. Now it tells me create a line crossing the elements to be extended. I need to extend these two. So I do a data point and drag kind of an imaginary line across these two elements, and then when I let go of the data, it automatically extended those two there. So I'm good there. I have some lines that are still too long, so I don't want to extend anymore. I'm going to go into cut, or trim, I should say, go to trim. So with the operation set to trim, select that element to trim to. That's there. Create the line crossing the elements to be trimmed. Drag my imaginary line across there. That deletes that. I also don't need these lines above anymore. So I'm going to do select an element to trim to, still in IntelliTrim. Drag my imaginary line across those 4 lines. And now I've got my 8 inch, 15 inch, 4 inch. But to show that, we got to provide dimensions like we did for our side view. So I'm going to zoom in a little closer here and go back into our dimension tools that we have here. I'll go to dimension element again, and I'm going to select this part of the element. Now that's 15. Now that 15, I changed my text size so it's the same as my title size. I want to go ahead and shrink that back down to what I had for my side view. So I'm going to jump back into my text features, change that back to 1/2 inch, which for my height and my width, and we'll change the spacing back to 1/4 inch, 0.5. So close that for now. Now I'm going to go back into my dimension element again. Select the element, zoom out, reset. So we'll do my 15 dimension there, which we also had from the side view, but it's good to describe it twice if you can. The new dimension I'm bringing in here is my 4-inch road width, so I definitely want to show that. So I'm going to select that and bring that over here. Now I also want to, for good measure, show my 8-inch dimension, and then I also want to provide this dimension here just so that they know that this dimension, since it's centered, should be 3.5 inches, 3.5 plus 8 is 15. That way we know for sure that this is in the center. So to show this 8-inch dimension, I can't use my dimension element line because this element's 15 inches long. But if I go to dimension linear, you can select dimensions by points. And in order to do that, I still got my intersection snap. I want to snap to that point. So it's starting a dimension, just waiting for me to pick the other point. I'm going to pick right there. So I data select that. Now at the bottom it's telling me to find the length of the extension line. So you're just dragging your mouse with no button selected when you got the location where you want it. Do another data point. So now I've got 8. And I want to do the same thing with select start a dimension, still have that selected. Extend it up to there, so that's 3.5. Do a reset, right click button. And likewise, what I had to do with my side view, I'm going to enact some edit text commands to provide the units that we're using here. So this would be 15 inches. Data point accept. This would be 4 inches. And this would be 3.5 inches. And it's the same on both sides, so we're going to say tip. Make this 2 lines of text so it'll fit within 3.5 inches typical. So now we have our top view labeled and dimensioned.